Good morning. Great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Oh, yeah, the beautiful reminder of choice that we all have, the choice that we have every moment in our life to choose how we're going to think. Remember, that's the only thing that you have control over and nothing else. See, it's what's happening in the mind that delivers the outcomes of your life. And you have control over what's happening inside of you. And what's beautiful is when you tap into that power and use it, you know what you receive? You receive change. You receive different outcomes, a shift in your experience in this game called life. And it all starts in the mind. Remember, as within, so without. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. As you thinketh in your heart, so are you. So are the results of your life. So is how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyle. It all starts there. Everything starts in the mind. And that's what we do here at Elevitality. That's what Dolly and I have been working so diligently on in ourselves. And we've been working diligently on helping other people to engage with that themselves. And that's what we invite you to move with yourself in your life. And what's beautiful is it works 100% of the time that it's used. So use this as if your life depends on it. You know why? Because it does. Now, before we proceed into this wonderful gem that we've been studying in, we have a reminder for you. Emergence is coming up on Saturday. If you haven't registered, register. You can register at elevitality.com, put your information in there, and in that wonderful call, we're going to be going over practicality of the right information in your life. Remember, it's through use, it's through engagement that change happens. Well, most people don't have those practical steps that they can implement in their lives to deliver change. And that's what we've put together and what we're going to be talking about on Saturday. So, with that being said, there is an invitation for you to purchase this game changer here, this liberation tool here, which is there's no such thing as self sabotage. And this is a wonderful book of liberation. And at Emergence, we're going to talk about the transformation process and engaging with the power that you have inside of you so you can live your life the way that you would love to live it. So, make sure you register. All right. So, here it is again, the cover of the book that we've been studying, As a Man Thinketh, and also Out from the Heart, two beautiful gems. If you don't have a copy of this, make sure that you do get a copy of it and get this specific copy if you want to read along with us, word for word, page for page. And then when you do get it, yes, underline it. Yes, highlight it. Yes, memorize it. Yes, study it. But most importantly, above all, implement it. Remember, it's use. If you look at all the words that are in this book, they have no power in and of itself. Even what I just shared with you in terms of this knowledge, this information, it has no power in and of itself. Knowledge is merely potential power, and the only way it has power is when it's used. And you'll hear that as you maneuver with us throughout everything that we share. That's the golden rule. As a matter of fact, that's the first lesson that we put into our transformational program. And it's the golden rule of application. Application's where it's at. If you don't apply, you're not going to deliver change. And if your results haven't been changing, I guess I can share with you, you can trace it solely into that. It's a lack of implementation. And again, this is what we're inviting you to connect with. All right. So, are you ready to dive into this? Type in the comments, I'm ready if you're ready. If you're ready to go into where we left off in As a Man Thinketh, and then we'll go there. Oh, and by the way, as we're going through this, make sure that you're using it with how you would love your life to be. If you have your goal card, pull your goal card out. And as we study this and maneuver through it, think in terms of how you can use what's being shared in your life practically especially when it comes to your goal, because this will help you to get there big time. All right, so you ready? Let's do this. Let's go into this. All right. So where we are is on page 6. And we read over this in the last session. And it's important to emphasize thought and character are one. And as character can only manifest and discover itself through environment and circumstance, the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. And that's a fact there. That's a principle. That's a truth. Your outer world, in other words, the results of your life, how much you earn, what you do for work, your lifestyles, all of that is exactly what it's supposed to be. And that is a reflection of what your inner state is. Your inner state is what's in your heart. We're not talking about the conscious part of your mind. We're talking about the emotional part of your mind, the part that gets things done. See, that is what's determining the results in your life. So, what is in the heart? Well, it's very simple. It's what you believe to be true and the habits you have. That's what your inner state is. And if you change that inner state, your outer life, the results of your life will change. Now, think about that for you. Think about the results that are in your life right now, whatever they may be. And remember, the truth about those results is they're neither good nor bad. They just are. And that's a wonderful thing for you to connect with. Everything just is. Nothing is good or bad. Everything is fundamentally meaningless. With that being said, when you look at those results, what are they? They are feedback. And what are they feedback of? They are feedback of what's in your inner state. And here's the best part. You can change your inner state, which means you can change your results. But the only way to change your inner state is with movement of ideas. See, this is what's called application. So let's read this again. Thought and character are one. And as character can only manifest and discover itself through environment and circumstance, the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. Now, this does not mean that a man's circumstances at any given time are an indication of his entire character, but that those circumstances are so intimately connected with some vital thought element, and that's important. We're going to go over this again here, thought element within himself, that for the time being, they are indispensable to his development. Now, let's go to the phrase thought element. Remember, thoughts are things. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are the magnets that attract to us the very things that we think. When he's talking about thought element, he's talking about ideas. And those ideas that we connect with, they lead us to outcomes. And they also determine what we're repelled by and what's repelled by us. And the best part is you can accept whatever ideas you want. You can originate ideas, thought elements, and connect with them. And if you stay connected to them, if you're loyal to it, guess what will show up? It'll show up as a result in your life. Now, here he's talking also about how the results of your life, whatever they may be, for the time being, whatever they are indispensable for you in terms of your growth. And that's a wonderful perspective to have, but most people don't operate that way. They operate from life is happening to me instead of the truth that life is happening to me. I mean, life is happening for me. I said that incorrectly. So let's all type that in the comments. Life is happening for me. All of the results in your life are there and are indispensable when it comes to the development of you. And You know what's really amazing is you can look back on your life and look at where you are right now, and this level of awareness that you are beautifully being introduced to that you haven't seen before. All of your previous experiences in life have led you up to this moment. See, your life is a whole line of causation. Cause leads to effect. The effect turns into a cause, which leads to effect, which leads to a cause. See, that's how it works. Now, every man is where he is by the law of his being. You are where you are by the law of your being, by the character that you're playing. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there. And in the arrangement of his life, there is no element of chance, but all is the result of law, which cannot err. Now, think about that. Law cannot err. A principle is something that moves into motion and is always enforced, regardless of whether or not you're knowledgeable or ignorant of it. Think in terms of what we call the law of gravity. In terms of that law that we point out, whatever it may be, it is no respecter of you. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about me. It doesn't care about anything. Okay, here, I have my handheld device here. Gravity doesn't care about this. With this being said, the law of what we call gravity will get enforced regardless of what this is. And if I let go, boom, it falls. It'll do the same when it comes to if I did that with one of my dogs, if I did it with the cat, if I did it with a statue, if I did it with, my gosh, this bottle of Lumify, boom, it drops. Now think about that for you when it comes to this law that he's referencing to. Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there, and the arrangement of his life, and in the arrangement of his life, there's no element of chance. See, he's saying that you're exactly where you're supposed to be based from the thoughts which you have built into your character, either knowingly or unknowingly. But all is the result of law and cannot err. This is just as true to those who feel out of harmony with their surroundings as those who are contented with them. Remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are being in terms of the concept that you're agreeing to. And the best part is you can change that. If you don't like it, you can shift it. If you don't like the results in your life, you can change the results of your life by changing how you're thinking. Now, before we proceed further with this, if you're watching this and you feel connected to this and would love to go more into using this in your life to deliver some big changes in your life, then do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind, because that's where this is at. This is where what you're watching. And when you register, you'll have access to the live calls and also have access to the replays, which are very important. So go register. You'll thank yourself later. Now, let's go back into this. The results of your life